Thank you. So I'm going to show you today why I think creating a technology company in a downturn is a good idea. So there's no doubt in any way of looking at it, the oil industry is going through a tough time at the moment. We've seen a tremendous drop in commodity prices, and as we continue to develop more and more difficult resources, the costs to exploit those resources are going up over time. And the combination of the two at the moment has left us with quite a lot of inactivity in the oil field. But that's coming to a halt. There's a lot of growth in this behaviour at the moment of trying to find ways to replenish the dropping production. The innovation, though, is driven by the downturns. We saw that in the 80s when we took geology, my science, out of the field and into the 2D workstation, allowing us to target deeper and more complex reservoirs. The downturn in the 90s took that 2 dimensions and brought it into the third, and we were able to make for the first time some very precise estimates of fluid flow in the ground. And that's really essentially where I have my speciality in predicting how the rock properties vary between the well data. But my career largely within Chevron, I got to see a lot of the times when this went quite badly wrong. I was involved in doing a look back on a project that went significantly south, a $4 billion field development that was only operating at 4% of its capacity. And what we determined after a careful study of what had gone wrong is that people had made a precise estimate, a precisely wrong estimate of what was in the ground. And the entire development was underpinned on a geological concept that wasn't true. As an industry, what we actually want to be is approximately accurate. Precisely wrong is very expensive. Approximately accurate we can work with. We want to understand that degree of accuracy so that we can explore where we need to appraise the fields and reduce that uncertainty. This is driving us today into the third generation of software for our science, and that is software capable of managing uncertainty, not producing a single answer, but producing many, honouring the fact that the geological data is limited. We have wells with kilometres of rock in between. We take seismic information that's of low vertical resolution, and we try to blend together experience and intuition to draw the best conclusions of what could lie in between. Giving one answer is only going to give you a wrong answer. Giving a range and understanding how you could go about reducing that range or determining if that range is sufficient to move forward on an investment decision is the critical way of making money in this particular climate today. Our first product, Hutton, comes to market at the moment. I'm quite happy to announce that we just got a down payment from the second largest oil company in the world on a corporate license that will net us several $1 million in the next coming months. Hutton allows the geologist to replace the concept of making a best guess. So instead of trying to say, what is this answer, and then putting some fluff around the edges, we replace that with a concept where we use scenario-based uncertainty. We allow the geologist like myself to say, this reminds me of a rock I saw in Argentina. This is something that looks like something from Iraq. We can use that experience and intuition to drive the model and leverage that cognitive bias that we actually seek in our industry to expand on that. Importantly, part of the journey is to drop this false pursuit of precision and instead focus on the economic impact of the uncertainty. If the uncertainty is significant and it changes my business decision, I care. If it doesn't change a business decision, it's just an academic exercise and of no interest to an oil company. So we're focused very quickly onto understanding what impacts the business decisions around that. And it comes because, as founders, we are geologists who do those activities, and we're tired of trying to force software to remember that the oil industry is about making a profit, not just a scientific exercise. And we can deliver results for thousands of different geological scenarios in the time frame that the contemporary software produces one precise estimate. And this is why we have been able to secure the interest of the markets in a downturn, because we are responding to the need to focus upon that. We have a host of products in queue. As experts ourselves, we have a host of different technologies that we need to deliver to our peers that we'll be wrapping together into a service-orientated architecture Currently, these plug into second-generation software platforms. We plan on bringing them together into one of the first of the third-generation software platforms, focused on accuracy and efficiency rather than precision and a best guess. And importantly, we've heard a lot over the last couple of days about the impact of artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data. What we've discovered as the industry is that the data structures that we have behind the systems that we use to interpret geological information, oil field data, aren't well suited towards those incoming technologies. So we're working on a database that's designed to share the knowledge of the geoscientists, to allow to expand that across the asset teams. This is not companies sharing insight between companies, it's within the oil company itself. It's tremendously difficult to share that asset-based knowledge from one location to another within a super major organization. For us, we have already de-risked the journey that we're on at the moment to provide plug-in technologies to the second-generation platforms. First product is in beta testing with Chevron, Shell and Saudi Aramco today. And we have been put on the budget cycle for Exxon, ConocoPhillips and several other majors for next year. With this round at the moment, we're doing a £3 million raise that will allow us to deliver two other technologies in the next year. But we're looking for Series A investors capable of following on, because one of the things that we do have in our industry is a lot of very, very clever technology created out of universities, but by people that haven't understood what I needed as an end user. So there's a tremendous opportunity with the downturn now to acquire some of that best-in-class technologies and actually dumb it down to the point that it becomes pragmatic and useful for the end user. And so at the end of next year, we'll be coming back for Series B to look to build on the inorganic pipeline as well. Because the ultimate journey, the total market size that you have for software sciences, the software for the petroleum industry is $4.5 billion per year. And the market leader produces $1.2 billion by itself. So it is an interesting niche. It's one that you need to understand is a very much a B to very big B market. But because of the domain expertise required, it's a very uncrowded one. Thank you very much.